Good morning and welcome to the Shielded Prepper. This channel is intended to expand a prepared mind. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Hit the like button. We understand how the algorithm works. Behind me right now, I hiked up here this morning to ensure we could give you guys a great view from an elevated position atop our canyon walls here at Red Rock Canyon Adventure Park here in Hinton, Oklahoma. And if you haven't subscribed to that channel, I'm gonna tag it in the comments, or I'll pin it in the comments rather. Subscribe. We'd like to tell you about what's going on here at this campground that we purchased in Oklahoma. And every day I'm learning something absolutely new about this place. This past weekend, and before I start, I have a real great word of encouragement for those of you that are hustlers, those of you that are okay with adding a little pressure to your lives. We've been talking about this the last couple of weeks, is that this pressure that's mounting, add it yourself. You add the pressure. Don't let them add the pressure. Make your own pressure on yourself. Start moving, and if side hustles and new ways to make a little extra income has not been part of your comings and goings of your day-to-day life, now's the time. Now's the time. This year is a very important year. We've been saying that over and over again at all of the different channels that we watch. It's important to add pressure. Turn it up. Turn it up. The word I have for you today, for you to really sit back and think about, is you cannot be all things to everybody. Can't. Here's why I'm sharing this with you. This past weekend was extremely busy. It was in the 70s here in Oklahoma, and it's February still, and it was covered in snow a week and a half ago. It was freezing, and it was 70 degrees, over 70 degrees this weekend, and the park was packed with people coming and going, whether camping or just here for a day trip to enjoy all the hiking. And right now, I'll just pan over to the side so you guys can see what I'm looking at. I'm on top of our Horseshoe Canyon. Sun's coming up right over my shoulders. This is a wonderful place. And if you haven't made a reservation for this October 8th, 9th, and 10th, I'm reserving spots for the Ninja Nation. So if you call up or desire to come to this event that we are scheduling and planning right now, get on the books. You're going to intend on, if you want to camp or if you'd like to stay in town, make sure you're here. Make sure you're here. Okay, you cannot be everything to everybody. Here's what I have found out over the years of being in retail service and in sales and dealing with customers. Oftentimes, business owners or side hustlers try to do all these little things. I'm going to add this, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do this at my restaurant, or this at my store, or this is part of my business of service that I do. And oftentimes, we'll add so much that it makes it difficult for us to manage it well. And I'm still learning this with you. If this resonates with you, where you've had a time where you thought, I'm going to add this, I'm going to add this, and I'm going to do this, and you attempted to do that and it just simply overwhelmed you, put it in the comments. I'd like to know. Me too. Right now, it is all about what can we cut? What things don't we have to offer, and what things can we focus on? If we know we can cut out 80% of the fiddle faddle and focus on 20% of what we know produces great margin, offers great value, is easier to implement, to manage, to coach, to employ. These are the things that we should be thinking about in our businesses, even in our homes. Even in our homes. Budgeting our homes is really important right now. And I know you understand what we're talking about here. Everything is becoming more expensive. Everything. This is why we chose to purchase this campground, because this is an effective way to offer families an excellent opportunity to come and spend quality time together. This is why, on a marginal fraction of what it would cost to go dance around with mice or to go twirl around with princesses. You hear what I'm saying? There's a lot that's constraining families. And another great thing I have a Verizon wireless cell service. It's not so good in the canyon. I can't be reached. I can't call out. It's kind of uncomfortable if you've been used to having communication all the time. Sometimes cutting communication allows us to think. Allows us to think. In your family right now, have you started to identify the things that you shouldn't be doing? That if you changed those things now, budgetary wise, is going to help you in the future? Maybe there's some higher priority, higher urgency items that you should be thinking about. You can't be all things to everybody. People get trapped in competing or comparing or not thinking they're adequate enough unless their children have a full athletic program all year long, or, you understand? This here is a stretching moment for our family. Every day we're figuring out new things, and it's causing pressure. It's causing pressure. And at some point, something's got to give. We're feeling it. We're feeling it right now. And it's an excellent pressure. It's uncomfortable, highly uncomfortable. And if you've ever started something new that you've never done before, I've never ran a campground. Yet I've done so many other things in life that has prepared our family for this season. And you too have done many things in life that have prepared you for a new chapter coming ahead. And if you've been thinking about what you're going to be doing, sometimes it's, that great analogy, ready, aim, fire. Sometimes it's ready, fire, aim. Just know the direction, just know the direction you're shooting. Pull the trigger. Get something going downrange. Put action towards a direction that you intend on going, rather than that little tiny, can you see my eye through here? Rather than that little tiny target that's way off in the distance, get some ordnance going downrange. Pull the trigger on something that you should be activating right now that you're waiting on because maybe I don't have my colors right, or my branding's not right, or my website's not up, or I don't have all the tools yet. Get going. Don't stop and wait. If you stop and wait, it may end up hurting you worse, and then all these great thoughts and time that you've spent planning, aiming, and never pull the trigger. Sometimes it's better, boom, okay, boom, a little bit closer, boom, closer. This is what it means to not be everything to everybody. Start doing something now. If you're waiting because there's pressure on life, because of finances specifically, there's, we either have time or we have money. Oftentimes we don't have both. Maybe we have a little bit of money and a little bit more time. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. Action begats results. You must try. There's that rule of 100 hours that says that if you spent just 18 minutes a day working on something specific, and it doesn't have to be your full-time job, just something specific. Let's say it's your side hustle, and for less than 20 minutes a day, you're activating where you're going. You will separate yourself over a course of a year. That's 100 hours, 18 minutes a day, just a little, not a lot, equals 100 hours. And you will separate yourself in that specific line from 95% of your competition. And most people, it's difficult to carve out 18 minutes because it doesn't seem significant. It's easier to spend it on something you already know, love, and trust, rather than something that you're unsure of, not quite as confident in. 18 minutes. Do something to plan today. Do something to pull the trigger today. Make some phone calls today. Let today be a seed sowing time. Start putting seeds in the ground, 18 minutes a day. That's it. And I take this as accountability. We watch The Economic Ninja and many of these other YouTubers, and they're just consistent, predictable. consistent and predictable. You understand? Consistent and predictable. And it doesn't have to be much. This is a 10, 12-minute video. Don't try to be all things to everybody. Start today. Choose to be less than 20 minutes of activity towards something that you know if you planted a seed now, you'll be able to harvest in the near future, or maybe in a year from now, and begin to be effective today. Ready, fire, aim. Ready, fire, aim. Pull the trigger. Find the direction you intend on going. Oklahoma campground. Oh, why did I do this? Sometimes I wake up, I'm like, what? Yet I'm here. What am I gonna do with the resources I've sowed and the time I've spent looking at this? What would you do? Once you're here, it's kind of like you burnt your boats. You can't sail home. What you gonna do? Ready, fire, aim. Don't plan on being everything for everybody. Do this for yourself. Be specific and get some ordnance down range. It will bless you. Proverbs 22 verse 3 says that a prudent man, some translations say clever or shrewd, a clever man or woman foresees danger or evil. There's a lot of evil going on right now. So a clever person foresees danger and hides themselves. Doesn't cower in fear, they hide themselves. They get a little quiet, they put their head down, and they work. And the simple person, the simple-minded person that's always done what they've always done, that's gonna have what they've always had, is gonna pass by, not see the danger coming, and Scripture says that the simpleton passes by and is punished. Know anyone in your family like that or your friend's circle like that? The simpleton that doesn't see anything coming. They're not willing to make any moves now because things are getting more expensive. So instead of trying to expand their opportunity, they're tightening down to its lowest common denominator. And they've margined themselves down to just being able to get by, maybe. Add some pressure right now. It's gonna bless you. Don't be the simpleton. Be the prudent, be the clever, be the shrewd, and foresee what's coming. And begin to hide yourself. And hiding means shielding yourself and preparing for we're not quite sure what's going to happen. Yet we see evil. We see danger coming in our country. If this has landed on you and you understand what I'm saying, put it in the comments. Let's chat about it. I think we're going to keep talking about these type of things. The encouragement that we find in YouTube is pretty special, because there's not many people in all of our circles that maybe think like us. Stay connected to this group. Look for new ways to add margin for you and your family. And read Proverbs 22 verse 3. That the clever person foresees evil and hides themselves, and the simpleton passes by and is punished. Some translation says destroyed. Don't be the simpleton. Be prudent. Hide yourself. Put your head down and start to work. Add some pressure. Don't be all things to everybody. Ready, fire, aim. Get it going. Talk to you guys later.